Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel.
Don't you wanna have fun? Fool around someone?
My name's Tamika. I'm so excited for today's video because I'm finally doing an updated Kindle collection tour kind of thing. I did one of these at the end of 2020 and I intended to do one again at the end of 2021, but it just kind of got away from me and I didn't get around to it. So I'm going to be giving you all a tour of what's in my Kindle. I'm going to show you how to set up a collection and also just kind of how I go about organizing my Kindle and what I have plans for in the future. So if you have any questions or you're kind of curious on how my Kindle is set up, just wait a second. We will hop right into it. But first, I would like to thank the sponsor of today's video, Ana Luisa. So Ana Luisa is a sustainable jewelry brand, which I know I don't shut up about. I talk about them so often and I genuinely love all of their pieces. I have been using Ana Luisa essentially since they reached out to me in about October or September of last year, and I'm obsessed with their jewelry. I wore my snake earrings for the longest time and I just got some new pieces from them and I want to show them to you all. Ana Luisa is actually doing a really good sale right now and I wanted to share that with you all because if you use my link down below, you can go straight to their website and start shopping. They are doing 20% off right now and their jewelry is honestly so freaking pretty. It is just really nice, high quality jewelry for an affordable price. And as someone who loves jewelry and who really enjoys having interesting and statement like pieces, or just really simple, elegant pieces, this can work for anyone. I specifically love this and I wear my typical things so you all can kind of get an idea. This stuff really does go with any aesthetic. I've seen very clean aesthetics wear this and very professional and put together, so I really feel like it works for everyone. And it's also just easy to pair with different items. So today I have on a couple of their pieces. I do have these little earrings. They are lightning bolts, and I have a necklace on right here, which is the naked woman, which is very on brand for me, obviously. And then I also have another piece of jewelry for them, which was a padlock. So you can kind of see that these pieces, they have enough of an eccentric style to match any personality. So they have some simple stuff and then they have some weird stuff that just kind of fits with people more like me who have more of an alternative aesthetic. I mean, I literally have red and black hair, a septum and black lipstick, so I really feel like this matches just about everyone. I have wore this necklace all week and I do typically only wear black clothing. Like I wear all black all the time, so a lot of what I wear is a little more interesting and I'm able to pair all of this jewelry to really make it work for me. So if you are at all curious about Ana Luisa and you want to check them out, I do have a link down in my description. And like I said, I would not recommend them if I did not love them so freaking much. So yeah, go check that link out in my description and I will chat with you all in just a second. We'll hop on into the Kindle tour. So here is what my Kindle library looks like when I first went into it. This is obviously what it looks like when you just like pull up the home screen, and I'm obviously showing this on my iPad so that it's just easier. So it has your library at the top, my Kindle Unlimited, like just based off what I've been reading, like right here at this side here. Then we have our streak, so we have the 28 weeks in a row, however many days in a row, and then I've got the highlight of how much I have read, which it goes and it shows you which days you've read and which ones you haven't. So then we have upcoming releases that you might be interested in, which I want that one, but I have no internet connected right now. We'll turn it on just for a second so I can click on that. But like, I really want to read this. So this is a book that I can add to either my list, so I can add it to like a wish list or a KU list or like whatever wish list I have here. And then I also have I can go ahead and pre-order it. So if I'm pre-ordering it, I can pre-order it on my Kindle, but not on the Kindle app. So then we have For Me and Romance, so For You and Romance, which is just a ton of romance titles. So yeah, I just have like a different romances that it thinks I might read based off the stuff that I've read through Kindle already. Then it's different from your recent purchases. So this is stuff that's just really different. You know, just kind of self-explanatory, different than what you normally pick up, but still kind of based off of what you are typically reading. then this is literally based off your reading. This is just stuff that they think you might like. And then there's For You in literature, more like your recent books, similar to your last read, more like your recent books, a Kindle Unlimited section, more like your recents. And then there's also an option to just explore down here. So we have Kindle Unlimited, romance, mystery, thriller, you know, the works. So scroll back up. It does have my notifications up here at the top, which just tells you, you know, authors that I've been reading and if they've released new books. And then I have the 3 tabs here at the bottom. You have home, library, discover, and more. So on the more section, it basically just gives you your insights of your reading. So it tells you how many titles you've physically read on your Kindle with that year. You can actually set goals of how many you would like to read, and you can set a reading goal on here. I typically don't do this just because I read and I track my reading on Google, or not Google, Goodreads. I don't know why I said Google. The discover is literally your discover to like find other books outside of your homepage, and it's just inspired by how you're reading and the things you're reading and things. So it's just a more in-depth version essentially of your homepage. So then we go into my library, which this is what mine looks like. There is a ton of stuff on here, so I'll show you just very briefly. I'm going to scroll through all of my thumbnails and I'm going to show you my collections because that's typically how I read. I prefer to use my collections if I'm looking for something specific, or I will search for it. Just if I'm in a mood for something and I know exactly kind of what I want, then I will go to that instead of just scrolling through trying to find something. But as you can see, there's a lot of titles to scroll through here. I don't know exactly how many I have, but I know I have a lot. So it's just easier for me to use my collection. So let me show you. So I go up here to sort and I go to collections, and this is what my screen looks like. And I can sort this again in other ways, but this is just the easiest. So I'll just go through my categories really quickly and we'll do a quick scroll through. So I have a TBR for thrillers. I have a KU folder here. I have one for sapphic because I read so much sapphic romances, and you all know this. So I like to have a file just for sapphic. I have a TBR dark romance. I have an ARCs folders for when I'm looking through my ARCs and I need to figure out what I need to read. I have one for manga, which is just all manga. And I'm about to switch this so that all of the genres are just in one folder and they're not TBR versus unread. So, and then I have a Brianna Hale folder. I have a red dark romance, a TBR dark romance. I have a I'm never going to read these folder, which like that was inspired by Izzy. We're not going to go through that one. I have a PNR that's red, a red horror, a TBR horror, TBR contemporary romance, a red contemporary romance, red thrillers, TBR PNR, TBR YA, a daddy kink, sports romance, another, this is a TBR daddy kink, reverse, or a TBR historical romance and red historical romance. Then I have fantasy and science fiction, both right here. I did make a collection for the Kindle Clear Out, which there's nothing in there now, so it's just a wasted folder. I have a nonfiction, and then I have a uncollected, which just is a handful of things I've just not put where they need to go, essentially. So let me just kind of break it down why I do it this way. The reason I specifically set mine up this way is because I like seeing it quickly at a glance. So you can see here's some of the thrillers that I have in here. And there's also some horror in here. So I'm actually going to end up combining my horror and my thriller collection because that is just what makes sense for me, because that's, you know, honestly how I work. So if I were to change this, which I will do right now, this is going to be horror and thriller. So I'll just go in and change it by clicking the title up there and putting horror and then slash thriller, and then it just encompasses all of the things in that genre. So then we, again, if I just kind of refresh it, it's going to update that eventually, just apparently not yet. So it's already updated here, just not on the outside. So then over here, KU, this is just the KU titles I have checked out. And what I like to do with KU is just to be able to quickly glance at what I have out and what I need to read. So then I have sapphic, which if I'm in the mood for like a sapphic romance and I don't really know which one I want to read, this is a very easy way for me to just go in and pick one, which there's quite a few on here. And I forget sometimes if they're sapphic, so if I go ahead and put them in the folder when I download them, it makes it so much easier. Same with dark romance, and honestly these aren't even accurate anymore because I have learned my lesson, and I've read Priest, I've read The Initiation, I've read The Beast, I've read The Sea Witch. Like there's so many of these I've finished and I have read, like My Dad's Best Friend. I have already read all of these books, so they just need to go in a dark romance folder, which is right here, and I need to eventually just put them together. So that's what I'm eventually going to do. I have my manga one, which is very easy. I just put all my manga in here just because it makes it easier on me if I'm looking for a manga to read that I already have downloaded, because I do have so many manga already, you know, digitally purchased, which you can kind of see them here. Then I have my Brianna Hale. I just end up putting all of Brianna in there. I have a dark romance here. These are all ones I've read. Never going to read those. We said we weren't going to open that. Then I have a PNR. Just these are a couple of them in here that are read. These are some horror that I've read. I really like horror. I loved Sour Candy. Blanky can suck a dick. Here's some TBR horror that I need to get to. Contemporary. This is all contemporary horror. Did you just see Phoenix throw that? She sure did. And again, I've read this, so I don't know why it's in TBR. I've read this, so I don't know why it's in TBR. And this is why I want to kind of switch it over to be in one folder instead of being read and unread, because I just feel like it would be much easier for looking through these. So I'm just gonna scroll through so you can kind of see some of the books on here. I have added more since my last update, so there are new files in here. And this is a Daddy box set, so I don't know why it's not in the Daddy King folder. So some of these just don't make any freaking sense, and that's okay. This is honestly just for my quick glancing. It's not really for anyone else. No one else is really reading from my Kindle but me, so it makes sense. Like, this is a Daddy book. Don't know why this is in this, but it is. So yeah, then we have Red Contemporary, which are these. Red Thriller, just one. Some TBR PNR, which a lot of what I own is, you know, through Kindle Unlimited, so I'm not gonna own a ton of it. So we have some Daddy Kink here. TBR Sports Romance. Another TBR, which I will probably never read this because this author did, what did they do? I think they did blackface. I'm not 100% sure, but they did something that was not cool. So this is gonna go in probably never going to read, because I just don't think I'm gonna read this author now after they did that, which is really sad because I wanted to read, you know, obviously wanted to read them, but I'm not gonna read someone that does weird shit. So we got historical romance, red historicals. TBR fantasy is obviously empty because if I'm gonna read a fantasy romance, it's gonna be KU. Here's some alien romances. I really gotta get to these really soon. The Robin Lovett books. There's nothing in Kindle Clear Out. My nonfiction is basically the same. It's all writing books and marketing books and a poetry collection. And then 48 uncollected that I've just not put into their proper homes yet, so. But yeah, that's the extent of my Kindle. That is basically everything on it. That is how I organize it. If you need like a step-by-step of how you do it, so like I'll show you, you hit the little plus button to make a new collection and you just title it. So I'm just gonna title it, for an example, what's something that's happening soon. So I'm doing the Spring Fling-a-Ween. So I'm just gonna title it this and make it TBR. You create it, and then you can go in here and literally just select. So for that readathon, I do want to read that horror, and then like I also think I will end up reading Headless by Evita Weiss, and like I can go through here and select the books that I want to read for that and like check them off as I am, you know, going through and making my TBR. So I can hit done, and then once I'm done there, right there is my collection, and I can see the books that I've put in there. So that's how you create a collection too. So I hope this was helpful and y'all enjoyed it. So I'm gonna throw it back to the stand-up version of me, the sit-down version, and I'll chat with you in a bit. Thank you all for watching and checking out my Kindle tour. Like I said, the link for Ana Luisa is down in the description. They are doing 20% off, so you are gonna save some pretty good percentage there. Plus their jewelry is always affordable. So I will chat with you all in my next video. If you all are still here, leave me the salsa dancing emoji, like of the woman with the red dress, because I just feel like it's really fitting considering I have my little woman on. So go ahead and leave that down below, and I will chat with y'all in my next one. Bye everyone.
Don't you wanna have fun? Don't you wanna have some fun? Yeah, his baby said that they don't got a future like